Listening.
Hey everybody, Dustin Dopirak here at Neyland Stadium with Grant Ramey. So we've been trying to figure out, the last 3 weeks, what is it going to take for Tennessee to finish a game, to get a lead and keep it. And it turns out the best thing they can do is not get one until late and fall behind 24-3. That's worked 100% of the time so far. And so huge win for Tennessee today. Rally back from down 24-3 to win 38-31 over Georgia, beat a ranked team. Game they absolutely had to have. I guess just to start, how just huge is this for a program that was going through a lot of turmoil, especially this week?
It's as of right now, it's a program changer because the way they were down 24-3, the scrutiny that Butch had been under the last 4 weeks, the scrutiny he would have been under the next 2 weeks had Georgia kind of rolled and blown this Tennessee team out. So
and then they would have had Alabama after that.
Exactly. It's as program changing as it can be for right now in the press.
I had pretty much marked down 2 and 5. I just kind of figured, okay, what are you going to do when you show up October 31st and you've got Kentucky? Can you run the table at that point? This one just puts a lot of things into play that were not, more or less, from that one. Game-changing play. Josh Dobbs hits Josh Smith over the middle. Smith manages to just kind of flip his hips. I don't even know how he caught that pass, really. Turns it around for a 39-yard touchdown. Then they recover a kickoff after that. I think you wrote about those last 3 minutes and how much that game changed. Just the momentum of those two plays and how important they were to
Josh might be the best top-to-bottom receiver in terms of athletic ability, in terms of hands, in terms of making a play after the catch. And those 4th and 8 and 4th and 2, Butch talked about it. It was a gut instinct. It was what had to happen at that point in the game at that field position. And, that 3-minute swing, the touchdown, the fumble on the kickoff, another touchdown, that changes the game. It makes it a one-possession game going into halftime. Tennessee gets the ball back second half. That's the 3 minutes that kind of breathed life back into whatever Tennessee has left to play for.
It seemed like it not only did that, but it opened certain things up on the field, and it gave some guys confidence that needed it. Josh Dobbs really, I thought, had a rough day up to that point. I think he completed 11 of 23 passes. A lot of those were kind of just sort of swing hitches, and there wasn't a lot. He hadn't got a lot going. I think after that, from that play forward, he was 14 for 19. More or less. He finishes with 312 yards, 3 touchdowns passing, also rushes for 118 and 2 scores. Went from kind of a really ugly game, and he was catching a lot of heat too. I had people on Twitter asking me, okay, when are they going to go to Dormady? And he ends up being the guy that really wins that game for Tennessee.
Josh, it seems like Josh is, it's like either 100 yards or less total offense or 500 yards total offense. It's like hit or miss. But, when he's great, Tebow said it this morning on SEC Nation, he can't be good, he has to be great. But when he's great, it's a completely different Tennessee football team. There's no other way to say it.
The run game I thought was important for him too. It seemed like Georgia really keyed on Jalen Hurd, and he got, I think, 80 yards on 21 carries. Had to work for all of those, was just constantly dealing with defenders. Dobbs managed to take a lot of pressure off of him, but more so just took advantage of everything that they were doing to scheme to Hurd.
Yeah, and he just steps out of tackles. It's not like he runs over people. It's not like he's going to juke somebody out of their shoes. He just kind of steps out of tackles, and he takes what people gives him. And his yards after contact, I don't know what they are, but they've got to be pretty far up there, and nobody really thinks about that.
Yeah. After a lot, just 3 weeks, 3 games, it wasn't 3 weeks in a row, but those 3 games where it seemed like Tennessee lost on every single break, they get a huge one when basically Grayson Lambert just puts it in Reggie Davis's stomach and he just can't grab it. I guess it seemed like that maybe was the point that you thought Tennessee might actually get this one.
And Butch talked about, those plays have gone against Tennessee at some point, so maybe it's just time for that play to kind of bounce in Tennessee's favor, and that's a guy, Reggie, that made a bunch of huge plays, and Tennessee...
And a punt return and a 48-yard reception.
And Tennessee finally comes out on the end where it's, they get the lucky bounce.
Yeah. So big win again. They get a bye week, then they get back from Alabama, but a lot of things suddenly are in play for this team that didn't seem like they were going to be going in this week. All right. Thanks, everybody.